And you're on.
Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of Forever and a Day's After Show, Season 2. I'm your host, Matthew Preston, alongside my amazing, that's actually one of my favorite adjectives to describe anyone with, Dorrell Anthony. How are you?
Hi, Matthew. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, as always.
We're back at it, man. I mean, I feel like it's crazy because this has went by so fast, this entire process, and we're almost, we're at the end pretty much. And it's crazy. It's been a crazy couple months. I'm so excited, though. I'm so excited for today's guest, especially.
Oh, I know. And it's so funny that you say that because I always view things on time. Time just flies by. Even if you think something is going slow, it's already tomorrow. That day you've already waited forever for, it's already here. It's already gone. It's already a year from now.
I see what you did there with the forever. I see what you did there with the forever and a day. No, listen, everything feels like it's been very, very slow because of quarantine and COVID. But then when we started doing this, it like took off and it's like, we're at the end. But listen, yeah. I think it's been a really great time and we've had some really amazing guests, and our guest coming up, one of my favorite to say his name. I've actually been very excited. I have to say Quinn VanAntwerp. I love that name. I think it is such an amazing name, and I'm happy to have him and Tyler Smith on today.
I was definitely practicing their names as well. Let's bring them on. Quinn and Tyler, welcome to the After Show.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
everyone.
Hello, I need outtakes of you guys practicing that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I love saying it. I literally think, I was like, Quinn literally has the best name for an actor. Like, you and Elizabeth VanAntwerp, like, I love y'all's names. Like, I think it's so cool.
Yeah, well, the least you do. I mean, it's just a constant topic, for everyone. And then you guys got it perfectly, but usually it doesn't go as well.
Well, we perfected it.
Yeah.
I love it. So we have Quinn and Tyler. By the way, Quinn Tyler, that would be a really amazing soap opera name.
That's a good name too.
Put that together. You two play, well, why don't you just explain, Tyler, let's start with you. Talk about your character, Alex.
Yeah. Well, I will say Alex has been a fun character to play, especially alongside Quinn, aka Colin. It's a really good power dynamic between the two of us. But Alex is essentially, the way I see him, is a very egocentric guy with a lot of insecurities that he hides with masculinity. And so he's trying to do all these things and control these things and manipulate all these things. But really, he's just trying to keep it all together. His web is spun a lot, and he's just trying to keep it all from collapsing in on himself. And they're really interesting.
We think that he's worse. He's worse than his father, which is played by me.
Yeah, he's there's a lot of things that I could get into with him. He's a very layered man. He's like an onion for sure.
But I think his one thing I have to say, Tyler, in the way you play the character, I feel like Alex, he's committed to what he believes. Like, he believes what he's doing is not maybe necessarily the right thing, but the right thing for him. So I think that it's great when you can play a character and make everyone feel like, hey, I know they're wrong, but a part of me is like, I see why they're doing what they're doing. So I love the way you play the character, and the conviction of it is so real.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, his self-preservation is absolutely the biggest thing on his mind. And anything he wants, he's going to try and get with all his heart.
I'm going to ask them to write a scene with us. I'm ready. I was like, I feel like he's such a powerhouse.
Tyler, by the way, I want to know, how old are you?
I'm 28.
What?
So I'm 35, which means I'm 7 years older than you, which I guess in Forever and a Day world, it makes me 50, and you're like 20 something.
Yeah, man. I feel like he's probably like young 24, 25-year-old. I'd feel like, yeah, this is the old whippersnapper.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all right. The other part of this, probably, I'm trying to think of another, I guess, iconic love triangle that has swept Augustus is Colin, played by Quinn. Colin, what is going on with Quinn this season? A lot is going on. So please tell us what is going on.
Well, as Tyler said, we're best friends in the show. And
we're not.
The show really revolves around our friendship and our love.
Oh, wow.
Colin is, I think this season especially, he's like picking up the pieces of his life. He is really optimistic always that it's going to work out. He's constantly, for better or worse, looking at the bright side of things, which I think is kind of what always gets him into trouble, is never really learning his lesson. But I really want to root for him often, because I'm like, well, he does just want this thing. So he's like willing to look past a lot of really bad behavior to have this family of his, and he's like really close to having it. But he never seems to quite get there, does he?
Quinn, there was an episode, it was a few episodes back, and you had a scene with Mama Lou in the hospital when you were worrying about Emma, and the emotion you brought to the character in the moment, because a lot of people, this show is very, very difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult shows I've ever done, because normally we're filming, on camera, and we have that opportunity to, people can see our emotions and people can feel like what's going on. But in this case, they really can only feel because they're listening to our voices. And both of you, as I told Tyler and also you, Quinn, the emotion and the worry that you had going for Emma in that scene at the beginning of the episode, I was just like, wow, like I felt like I can picture him in the hospital talking to Mama Lou. Like I saw the whole scene, and it just speaks to your talent as an actor, because people have to be able to see that, right? People have to be able to imagine the scenes that we're in when we're talking. Otherwise, it doesn't work for the show, and people are just kind of hearing. But I think it's so great what you do.
Well, thank you. And I mean, she really was amazing to work with on that scene.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if she has a personal experience with loss, but she really brought it. And I think that's the best part about acting in person. And then what we have found a way to do, especially this season, is to connect, without being able to see one another. Just playing off her performance was really powerful. So, props go to her instead, I think, really.
Yeah. Well, switching back to Tyler real quick, I want to ask, how did you become involved with Forever and a Day? What inspired you to, want to continue playing this character of Alex? And again, how did, Candace and Casey, we love telling the story of how they got us all involved. So how did you come involved with Forever and a Day?
Yeah, it was a really interesting way that Casey somehow found me on Instagram. I don't know where he came from. I was just chilling one day, had some free time, and I was like, soap opera, what? Oh, voiceover? What is this? And through that, I was really skeptical at first. I was like, this has got to be a scam. And then I met Casey. I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it. Met him, and I was like, wow, this actually sounds like a really legit thing. And then over the course of the season, even like building confidence with who I was and with Alex and with the season and the cast. And then also, of course, meeting Quinn, which has been such a fun actor to play alongside with. I swear this guy is so fun to play with and just get into scenes with. But it's really just kind of built up that confidence in Casey and everyone, including James and everyone else that's working on this season. But definitely random. Just got to check your DMs. It's really the name of the game here.
That's mostly what everyone has said. It's like they just slid in our DMs, and next thing you know, we're all on the show together.
Yeah.
And wait, Tyler, did you just say games?
Games?
You just said name of the game. I think so. But guess what? We have a game for both of y'all, because Quinn, you are a Broadway baby from your Jersey Boys days. And Tyler, I could have sworn I've seen you because I follow your stories on Instagram. Don't you like play guitar or piano or something or sing?
I've been in settings with guitars and pianos, but I'm just going to say my hands have never touched them. So, but I'm willing. Go. I'm ready to give anything a shot here.
I love that.
It's a very Alex answer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love this is going to test your improv abilities. It's called Sing Us a Theme Song. Okay. Dorrell and I are going to give you certain characters from Forever and a Day, and you can just sing us a couple of bars from what their TV theme song would be if they had their own spinoff.
Oh, sweet biscuits.
I know. Now you got to think of TV theme song tunes, so it's gonna be great.
Who's doing this? We'll have Quinn start off. Dorrell, which character? Who do you want to hear from their theme song?
I am going to ask Quinn to give me a spinoff of Emma. I'll make it easy for you to start off with. Mm-hmm.
Okay. An Emma spinoff. It's just one lady and a baby. She's a little bit kind of crazy, but she's up One lady with the baby. This season on One Lady and a Baby, she runs away with her baby.
That was
awesome. That is amazing.
Give you props.
I love it. That was
Tyler,
really good. So,
Tyler, I have one for you. Are you ready? You know this character quite well.
Yeah.
You know this character well.
Mm-hmm.
Say Miranda gets a theme song. She gets a theme song for her spinoff. What is it?
Oh gosh. Miranda. Okay. When everything's getting hairy, she's thinking about, oh man, I'm gonna burst a blood vessel in my head thinking about this one.
She's thinking about Jonah.
Yeah, she's got her eyes on Jonah, thinking about not the Rona, but like she's gonna.
I love it.
I love it.
You know what?
I will definitely watch it. I'll watch that
C+.
show.
That's a C+ theme song. That's
hey, and then it'll eventually, like by second season, it'll just have the words Miranda. You know, like they used to do on Glee, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, I just have to say the name Miranda
we'll
really slowly and elegantly, make it all sound really good.
Yes,
we'll totally
just like put it on Instagram. Somebody will like fully produce you a song. I'm sure.
100%.
The power of Instagram's worked well for us so far, Quinn. I mean, we should do it. Yep, 1000%.
Dorrell, you're next.
Yes. So Quinn, give me one for Caitlin, your dear sister.
Oh, quirky Caitlin. It's called. What is it called? Sky's the Limit.
Oh, okay.
And
got a name title and everything. Wow.
It's a spin-off. Okay. Give me sky's the limit. I don't know. That's all I can do.
That's great. No, listen, that's good. That sounds like a Michael Bublé maybe kind of Robin.
Robin Thicke.
Thank you, Robin Thicke.
It's kind of a little bit of like a slow jam, but you know, with the new.
I love slow jam.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Quinn, I have another one for you. Everyone's favorite, Leslie.
Ooh.
Oh, Leslie.
Get it.
I think just Love in an Elevator by Rolling Stones is just maybe, no, by Aerosmith. That's the way.
Well,
I think I can't even write a better one. That. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like, well, we have, what is it? You can do 10 seconds of a song before they come after you.
There you go.
What the rule is?
Yeah. Love in an Elevator.
I love it. And that's it. It's like,
beautiful.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. That's all we get.
Tyler, last one I want to give you. So let's go with Jonah, your father.
I want to say one of the words is definitely got to be daddy, of course. And
of course.
Daddy's in hot water. How about some okay. Daddy's in hot water. He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my God, Father. What are you thinking? I think you're going crazy. No, that's it. That's all I got.
That was beautiful. That was good.
I love it. Congratulations to you both. We're going to watch these shows. They're going to be produced by JLJ Media coming soon.
Oh, for sure. I love it. So before...
Go ahead. Go right ahead, Dorrell.
No,
I know you have some important news.
I do? I don't. I had a question for Quinn. My question, Quinn, is how you got involved. I was just like, I don't think I got no news. I mean, I might. But Quinn, actually, I wanted to ask you how you became involved with Forever and a Day and what it means for you to be on the JLJ Media Network.
Yeah, I guess you could say that it happened through Instagram. I just feel like maybe that was just what everybody was doing at that time in the shutdown. But I got reached out to by Carolina Silva, who was a writer and played your sister, Laken in season 1. And she had been in talks with me about being part of her other series, Broken at Love. And so I had been like kind of skirting around maybe being a part of that project because a bunch of my friends had been. And she said, there's this new amazing project that's going on. We're bringing back soap operas as audio dramas. And it just felt like something that was really something I'd never done, like a genre I'd never been a part of. And it was super exciting to get on board. And so I sent in a tape, and we started. And then in season 2, we brought on my girlfriend, and to play Sky. There's been like a family event around here, Forever and a Day, and JLJ Media. And then I got to join another series of JLJ Media on Claus.
Yeah, so you're currently on Claus the series as the sleazy talk show host, Joseph Noel, and it's out now. So we're actually basically taking over JLJ Media. And the one thing I have to say is I continuously love the opportunities that James Lott presents to all of us being on this network. I think it is very forward thinking. It's taken off for him. And I'm just happy to be on for the ride. And you guys are so amazing. You're so talented. And we're just on the ride of JLJ Media. And I told, and I'm going to campaign this, Candace, I know you're watching. Casey and Candace have got to do a live reading of a Forever and a Day episode so everyone can see our faces when we're playing these characters. And we have to put it out there, put it on the JLJ Media Network, and people will love it. I'm sure people asking for it. If not, they should.
I want a live reading too. This is JLJ Media talking. I want a live show. I already told Casey and Candace I'm demanding a live show.
Surprise!
Also, Candace is demanding a theme song as well for Danielle.
Of course she is. Of course she is.
Wait, I have one. I'll make one up for Candace. This would be Candace's theme song. She's trashy, so trashy because she writes for trash.com. Danielle.
Yeah, I love it.
It's gold.
She's trashy. It's gonna be stuck in my head all day now. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, all the theme songs are gonna be. I feel like I'm going to be laying around later today and just thinking about that. Before we get into recaps, though, are you guys going to be watching the Oscars tonight?
No.
I forgot it was Sunday.
Oh, crap. Okay. Well, you guys should definitely be watching that.
Good reminder. I'm going to turn on my television.
I'll just probably see who wins in the morning. I have to work early tomorrow, so.
Yeah. Matthew doesn't
care. Party pooper.
But guys, you should just put it on and see what happens. I'm excited to see, and I hope that we continue to see some talented performers, because one day both of you guys are going to be winning. Actually, all 4 of us are going to be winning an Oscar. I'm putting it out there in the universe. So we might as well watch to see who our competition is going to be.
Oh, yeah. I'm already ready to beat up Colin for an Oscar one of these days. We'll be
definitely.
Well, I actually, I was a tiny little part of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom this year. So I'm rooting for all the Ma Rainey people. And hoping that at least Chadwick and Viola Davis and all those folks that are nominated. It'd be fun to see.
Did you get to work with Viola Davis on that?
I did not. No, the day I was there, I met Mr. Chadwick Boseman, and then I worked with just the director George C. Wolfe, and Denzel Washington was there, which was like the moment of my lifetime.
Wow,
that is amazing.
Yeah.
I did a scene with her once, and I have to say she's the most down-to-earth person you will ever meet. She's fantastic.
Yeah. She seems it, yeah.
And guess what else is fantastic? Forever and a Day, because the past 2 episodes are really heating up in Augustus. So, Dorrell, do you have your recaps up? Are you ready to go?
I do. Do you have yours up? Because
yes, me and Matthew. But here's the thing. Guess what? I'm going to admit this. If you see me squinting, there's a terrible glare coming from the clouds. But I'm not going to let that rain on this parade, because Isaac informs Leslie about Avery's death. Leslie is shell-shocked. The 2 praise the good human that she was. But then Leslie talks to her father about her asking Alex for a divorce. Isaac offers his love and care. Leslie talks herself into saving face for the Bay Ridge Hotel opening for Gregory's sake. And we will be getting, there's a lot more. Listen, we know there's a lot more going on, but we will be discussing that more. But I will say that I love that she opened up to her father, and she was like, yeah, this is what I'm going through. Help me, kind of.
It's good to see the relationship kind of turning for them, because it's been kind of rocky, especially, and I remember the earlier episodes, especially in season 1, it was kind of going back and forth, but I'm really happy to see her at least being like, all right, look, I need to talk to somebody, and this is what's happening. Quinn, Tyler, how do you guys feel about the relationship with Leslie and Isaac and how it's progressed?
You're part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really feel like the relationship. It's been like watching a dam fill with water and just like watching it fill, and then the dam is like finally bursting and stuff is just exploding and rocks are falling everywhere and just it's just like it's finally coming to a head and you're seeing all the damage and the carnage, but also like the healing and the good that comes from that. But it's just like you just don't know what's going to happen. All this stuff is going on, and you're just getting caught up in the tidal wave and just having to ride it out.
Has Isaac had any interaction with Alex at all, ever?
As what?
Has Isaac ever had any interaction with Alex at all, ever?
I honestly don't know.
I don't think so.
Which
is so interesting.
I'm just like just someone on the sidelines watching what's going on between the two of them, but and like all the things that are going on. But yeah, I don't think we've had anything. I
really love to see Isaac just be like, "You broke my little girl's heart, and how dare you?"
I just come out with a black eye and like stabbed somewhere. Yeah, I wouldn't blame the guy.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting comparison, and talking about water, and obviously next up, Miranda has water coming from her eyes because she sheds a tear for Avery before changing her mind on her revenge plan with Donovan against Stephanie. Miranda starts to not feel good again. I am so tired of Donovan. Like, I feel like that everybody just needs to get together and, do, what is it? Is it Murder on the Orient Express? And just end this. Like, can we just all get on the same page and just and get rid of Maddie, how do you feel about Donovan and all of that again? Because I know you have some very strong feelings every week.
I think that Miranda made the right decision. She kind of realized that she was doing wrong and that she needed to back up and back off. And I'm really shocked and surprised that her, oh my gosh, what is it? What was melanoma? No, not melanoma. Myeloma. Is it her myeloma acting up again? And who will treat her since Avery's gone?
Poor Avery. I love Avery and I love Veronica. And I'm very sad. I need either a twin to come back or her ghost or her spirit or something. This is a soap opera after all. Or maybe she's not really dead. I don't know. But this is a soap. So let's utilize it. Because I really love some Veronica. Dang it. I'm
holding out hope that it's not true. I can't believe that she's actually gone. That made me really devastated.
That's the sad part of soaps, guys. And literally, I feel like I'm always messaging Candy and Casey and being like, "Am I up for death? Am I dying? What's going on?"
Yeah.
Start reading scenes and you start being like, "Where's this going? Like, is something bad about to happen? Am I gonna like?" You just never know. And I think that honestly, that gives you a full arc in a show. I feel like when your character dies, it's like pretty cool because you're always going to be talked about. Like, it's always going to be there. So I'm kind of like, well, if I bite the big one, but I don't want to. So don't think that's an invitation, Casey.
I'm going to start calling Casey right now. Be like, we need to kill him.
Wait, no!
End him down.
If it was David really alive, you would not be dead. But you know who else is feeling terrible about the death of Avery? It's Gregory. He's mourning his beloved Avery. He receives a mysterious box. Pictures of the marshals are found. One has a scratched out photo of Avery with a strong warning from Dominique that his family is next if he doesn't pay. Thoughts?
I love Dominique. She plays we talked to Lauren last week, like Dominique plays no games. She's just like, I'll kill everybody. She really is.
Lauren's incredible in that part. I can't even talk anymore because I feel like I'm going to give something away. So like, I'm just not allowed to speak.
Don't you dare.
Honestly, I don't even know why they have me co-hosting the after show. I'm always about to give a spoiler away every single time. There's something I always want to.
Well, hey, wait a minute. Shout out to Casey, because if you listen to these past 2 episodes, Casey actually made us an amazing advertisement for the after show. And one of the things he said was, you might hear spoilers. So Casey, I gotta say, that's kind of on you if you hear some spoilers, but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Casey told us we could do it.
He totally did. But Dominique, let me tell you, Dominique is a scary pimp. She is one scary pimp. She wants her money, or she will break your legs or break your girlfriend, and she just doesn't care until she gets it. And I am living for it. So good.
Isn't it crazy that this is simply about money, and the fact it's like, just pay me my money and nobody gets hurt? And I mean, it's kind of scary because it's like, Gregory, how much money did you borrow? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, And when are you going to learn your lesson? He hasn't learned his lesson. Like, and it's just like, it took him losing the love of his life. And it's like, how many more people have to suffer because of Dominique? And that's all I have to say.
Well, also, I can't wait to find out why, kind of what you're saying, Dorrell, why does this money mean so much to her? What is it? If she loses, does she have a bounty on her head? Does she go back to living this poor life that she, I don't know. And there's so much backstory. And if you haven't heard or watched that interview with Lauren B. Martin on the extra after show, it's in the JLJ Media link. So look it up and you'll learn.
Yeah, it was really great
about it.
I mean, that was so well written that I almost want to go back and like look back at old scripts and I'm excited for it again now. That's wow. Okay.
I have a question actually. Before we continue with recaps, Quinn and Tyler, do you guys read because I know that Matthew and I've talked about it many times on this show. I don't read the entire script. I only read my part because I want to listen to the show and be surprised. Do you guys find yourselves doing that, or do you find yourself reading everything that comes through?
Ooh, Quinn, take it first, man. I know.
Well, the first season I read everything. I felt like I didn't know who these people were enough yet to, to understand my place in it. But this season I have read only scripts that I'm a part of, which is about, I think probably just over half of them. And then I usually kind of read just my scenes because there's storylines in other scripts that I'm not in that I don't understand. So it doesn't, so it's like actually really fun to listen to it, like you're saying, from scratch, because especially the whole Gregory thing. I had no idea about what Gregory was.
Yeah, me neither.
This season until I listened to it.
Yeah. By the way, we have somebody in the chat and they said the only death this season is Alex and Leslie's marriage. Major burn. But Tyler, same question to you. Do you read the scripts ahead of time?
I did exactly what Quinn did. I would read them all the way through the first season and be like, oh, this is amazing. What's going on? There's so much drama. Like, ooh. And then the last part of the season, I'm like, oh, dang. Yeah, I would, if I wasn't in one script, it threw off everything. And I was just mad confused. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to wait for it all to come out, listen to it, and just kind of have the fun experience of the user. It's cool to be a part of something that you have glimpses of the future, but now you're getting to become with the listeners and like learning what's happening in this town. Along with them, so it's kind of like a unique experience.
That's how I was with the Christmas special. When I found out I wasn't in it, I'm still salty about that. I still upset about it. But when I found out I wasn't in it, I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to read the script. I'm just going to listen to it. And I thought it was a really great episode. I mean, the only thing that would have made it better is having Antoine, but I'm not upset. So hopefully, the next Christmas episode, maybe I'll play Santa or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Hopefully. But guess what? Stephen and Melanie, they get fresh air and they discuss how life is too short. Stephen wants Colin to know the truth. Melanie is against him doing this. She gives him a warning that if the truth comes out, he will have her to deal with.
Wow. People just run around threatening. I have to say, I love the women in this show because specifically they take no shit from any of the men. The women in this show are like, listen, you gonna do it or you gonna pay the price? I mean, you have Dominique, you have Melanie, you have Miranda, you have all of these, Stephanie, you have all of these strong women characters in the show, and the men are kind of like, okay, I'm sorry. Like it's I actually really love to see it. It's actually really
Forever
well
in a threat. I feel like that should be one of the titles of the episode. Quinn, let me ask you, because Colin, this secret has been since season 1. What do you think could happen if Stephen exposes the truth? What could happen, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate myself because this is one of the plot points that I was told very early on, and it has been entirely difficult for me to not tell people this. Like even just like other castmates before this storyline came out. I was like, why would you tell me that? Now I have to live with that for secretly?
It's the roughest thing to do.
I know. They were really excited though, and it was very exciting to hear. But I don't know how Colin's going to be. Colin and I differ in a way where I think Colin oftentimes doesn't like to look at the full picture, of like the weight of the decisions that have like been fallen into his lap. But I think Colin in some ways probably would love a reason to be kind of done with Gunnar. I think, you know, it might just break him. It might just break him and realize, you know, like that I'm not who I thought I was. And then maybe that's the opportunity Colin needs to remake himself entirely.
These past 2 episodes were so Colin centric, and there's even more about Colin because Mama Lou and Emmy enjoy a quiet morning together until Colin arrives on the farm. Colin wants to work things out with Emma, as does Emma, until she tells Colin everything. Emma admits to being with Alex numerous times. He forgives her with a kiss. They return home to Augustus with Mama Lou to watch Connor. I just love Mama Lou.
Listen, I knew I had no chance. Guys, y'all saw that? I had no chance of reading that spoiler because anytime it's Mama Lou related, Matthew has to do the voice. He has to come in.
You didn't get the next one.
No. I love my. But before we actually get to that, I do want to ask a question from the chat room. How did you guys feel about doing love scenes on the show?
Ooh la la.
I'm gonna go first if that's okay. Let me just say I had a love scene that was originally with another actress, and it turns out we had to swap that out. That actress couldn't make it, so it was with Candace. So I was doing not just a love scene, but like sexual sounding noises with Candace in front of people, and I was like, I've done weird scenes in acting before, but that one was probably the most uncomfortable, but like also fun scene I've ever had to do with someone else, and we didn't have to do very many retakes, so we did well.
All right.
Well, I'll leave it at that. We did very well. But
what would be Alex and Danielle's splice name? Should we call him Dan Lex?
Ooh, Dan Lex.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only one that makes sense, I think. I mean, look, I have to say to you, Tyler, like it's very, those scenes are very scary, right? And like you had to, I mean, it's already awkward doing love scenes, but when you're just using your voice and doing all these moans and groans, and it's just like, I sound creepy. Like what's going on? I mean, I remember I had my like first love scene in my show Pride, and I was like, all right, listen, this is gotta be, first of all, I'm not eating all week. It was definitely pre-COVID where, you know, I didn't have this quarantine weight. And I mean, it's scary because you're doing something with someone and you're like, I don't want to be, first of all, I don't want to be creepy. I don't want to be aroused. I don't want to do anything to, you know, go against like my co-star. So it's a lot of like mental, you know, gymnastics that you're doing in love scenes. So, you know, props to you for being able to do that. Cause I can just imagine that it's even more awkward when you're just on a microphone making noises.
Totally. By the way, I have
to you for the way you're able to do that, but yeah.
It was crazy. I always tell people, you know, my college professor always said, whenever you do love scenes in the future, always tell them, I'm sorry if I do and I'm sorry if I don't. Because if you're not in it, and he's just like, you don't ever want to make someone and your scene partner uncomfortable. And obviously there's so many things in place now and TV shows and films. Coaches. Yeah, intimacy coaches, because people have to be comfortable, and it's the most uncomfortable thing to do. So congratulations to you, Tyler, because oof.
By the way, I have to say, I absolutely love this dynamic that they are with Emma, that they're doing with Emma, and that just adding on to this quadrangle, I guess we could say, and bringing out the past with Alex. Yeah, it's huge. It's adding layers upon layers. But there is somebody else that I want to know about. What's going on with Elaine? Dorrell, tell us.
Elaine chooses home care over Rose's rehab facility. Rose is against her decision, but complies. I have to say, you know, we had the conversation, I believe it was last week. We have so many, you know, we've talked about this a while, but I don't know if we completely trust Rose's methods. So I'm kind of okay with that, with Elaine doing that. And I know people can think, well, that's kind of scary because, you know, being an alcoholic, and having any type of addiction is scary when you try to take it on yourself. But I feel like she might be surrounded by loved ones that can maybe hopefully help her, because I'm not so sure about Rose's methods. you know, every time I say the name Rose, I think of the song Rose Turn. And I just literally, that's all I think of, Rose's Turn. Quinn, what are your thoughts about that with Elaine and her trying to overcome this addiction?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. And it's one of my favorite, I mean, sorry, it's not to say favorite, like it's great when somebody has alcoholism, but I just love how they have approached that storyline this year. Elizabeth is amazing, and I just love, you know, with the kind of the balance of her wanting to be there for what's happening in her children's lives, and having to deal also with what's happening in her own life. But yeah, I wouldn't trust Rose if it was with any of my problems.
But
no, I agree.
Hey, Dorrell.
Yes, ma'am.
Question for you. You play Antoine, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so too.
Let me tell you what he's doing.
They are actually, something's going on. Something big happened with Antoine, in my opinion. What's up with Antoine and JJ?
Gosh. All right. I love these characters. I actually got a message from Ben Bryant that was very, very sweet. And he said he'd love to see the Black gay love on the show. And he's like, he said the way you and Toni have put those characters together. So thank you, Ben, for those awesome comments and everyone online who come in, because it was a pleasure doing this with Toni. But JJ lets Antoine over to discuss his distancing. What turns into a defining their relationship convo turns into a Danielle bash. JJ quickly shuts down. I think it's interesting, and I said this last week, that sometimes when you have a friend or a family member or a loved one and you know that they got a lot of problems, it's okay for you to talk about those problems. When someone else comes in, it becomes an attack. And it's like, look, I know my sister has problems, but you're not going to sit here and bash my sister. Like, I'm not going to be okay with that. And honestly, even though I'm always team Antoine and not team Danielle, as someone has said in the chat, I will say
I wonder who that was.
I wonder. But I will say that I appreciate him being a good brother and him saying, like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and allow you to break down and dismantle my sister in the way that you're doing. So I have to applaud that. Tyler,
sorry, but real quick. Yeah. We also, JJ admitted something huge. They watched their father get murdered in front of them. That was huge. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think that really lets the viewers and all of us know a little bit more about Danielle and JJ and who they are and what makes their physical makeup and these walls that they have around them in terms of like maybe how they approach a situation. And Tyler, have you been able to enjoy any of those scenes? Like, what do you think about the family relationship between, because, you know, family should be everything, but what do you think about the family relationship between JJ and Danielle?
Yeah, I haven't really gotten to get too much into that with their scenes and what they've been doing, but I definitely know with that family dynamic that they've been having, it's I love how they like characters bring stuff out, because emotions are always so different between family members that they are between like people that are really that care about each other but aren't family. It's like when it's blood, it always gets bloodier and like it gets crazier, and you just, I don't know, the family dynamic between those two has just been really interesting to watch and to see develop, but I haven't been able to get too deep into it as I'm still catching up on my listening right now with the Forever and a Day. But it's been interesting to start to like understand that family dynamic between the two of them from my perspective.
Oh, but there is something that Alex and Colin has definitely been involved in, and we all know what it is, this front burner story. Colin and Leslie have a slightly awkward run-in that turns into a familiar feeling for the exes at the hotel. An elevator ride from hell brings them closer when Alex and Emma's past is dissected. Leslie is even more upset with Alex. Colin and Leslie realize that they have never stopped caring for each other as they go back to their history and apologize for what happened. Colin kisses Leslie and Leslie jumps his bones, but it was just a sexy fantasy of Leslie's, though their reunion is very much real.
I love that you said jump bones. I feel like I have not heard that in ages. I mean, look, I personally think that this is a very interesting story. Obviously, Leslie and Alex have a lot of issues. I like Colin. I mean, I'm torn because I also love Emma, but I actually, hearing Colin and Leslie, I don't know. It it felt natural and it felt non-stressful, if that makes sense. Like it didn't feel like there was all of this, because when you hear Colin and Emma, there's all this stuff underlying. When you hear Alex and Leslie, there's all this stuff underlying. But when I heard Quinn, you and Kalia do that, and I was just like, oh, this works. And a lot of times soap operas will do this thing where they shake up the canvas and they move people around in terms of who their scene partners are, their love interests. And I don't know, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm kind of with Colin and Leslie on this.
Yeah, I really loved shooting that episode. I think Kalia and I were both nervous about it. It was a lot of dialogue, just the two of us. There was, a lot of intimacy in the dialogue. But honestly, when we finished it, I was like, for the first time, I really felt like I was rooting for Colin and Leslie.
Yes.
Because before, with Leslie and I, we only have kind of fight scenes where one of us is heartbroken, one of us is angry at one another. But to hear them like actually kind of be in a healthy place and get along and really care for one another, I really understood why they were together in the first place, I really liked it. I really liked that dynamic.
I think the fans as well, it's really what the pairing that we've wanted since the pilot episode, really. And if that does happen, which it probably will, and is in my guess, excuse me, I think that they will be together. And then, excuse me, Alex will be with Danielle, hopefully. But who will poor Emmy? Who will she end up with? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to see her go a completely different route. I don't know. I would almost like to see her team up with Dominique. I don't know. I would like to see her go a whole different route.
Maybe a little lesbian coupling to make up the stakes for the other lesbian couple of Lakin and Caitlin. But hey, Dorrell, there's one more plot that we have to talk about.
There
and
is
let me
one
tell
more.
you, juicy.
Well, it's all you, baby. So Stephanie runs into Jonah yet again. He informs her that he is out of politics for good and wants an unknown future. Isaac and Jonah reunite to share words. Jonah receives an enticing text to meet Stephanie at the Bay Ridge Hotel opening, but Stephanie is kidnapped by Donovan through his fake limo service. I mean, it's coming to a head. I have to say, the one thing I love is Jonah saying that, listen, I don't want to do politics, but I don't know what I want to do. And that's so real life. There's so many times that people change careers and it's like, you ask people, well, what are you going to do? I don't know, but I know that, I had a friend one time who told me, when I was she was acting and I was acting, and she said, you will know when you never love acting. She said, because when you wake up in the morning and you no longer have that feeling of an actor in you, and you'll know the feeling, she said, then it's time to move on. And I think my lucky stars, I haven't had that feeling. But there are people who wake up all the time in politics. I mean, you see it in sports a lot of times. A lot of sports guys, they'll be professional NFL, and the next thing you know, they're acting in a Netflix sitcom or they're doing shows. Like, people change careers all the time. So I admire that with Jonah. I've always felt that Jonah, more than Isaac, puts his family first. So I think that this is an opportunity for him to do that.
And let me tell you, something from the pilot episode that was huge was the confrontation. Maybe it was the second episode, not the pilot. It was the second or third. There was a confrontation between Isaac and Jonah where Isaac kind of came out on top. Many, many episodes later, this one, we see them back at it. And I kind of think Jonah this time was like, you know what, buddy? I'm not in politics anymore, so I don't have to fake kiss your butt to get a fake story. So you can keep your nose out of my business and push off.
Yeah, Jonah was definitely the top in this situation. I mean, he came out on top. Whatever. Jesus, here we go.
This is not RuPaul's Drag Race here.
This is not RuPaul's Best Friends race. Okay, no. I agree with you. You know what? I'm gonna let Glenn talk.
Poor Stephanie. By the way, poor Stephanie. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to find out what Donovan has planned for her next episode. But I have to say, Quinn and Tyler, Thank you so much for being on this amazing after show. We had such a good time. And before we leave, Tyler, where can people watch you on Instagram or Twitter? What do you do? Where can they find you?
Yeah, I would say always follow my Instagram for more updates. I do a lot of different things, and Instagram is the place where I post all those things. So yeah, just go find me at Tyler David.
Perfect. And Quinn, where can they find you? And hopefully on a Broadway stage as soon as it reopens. But until then,
you know, from your mouth to God's ears, we'll see about what the next step on that is. But I'm on Instagram at YasQuinn, 3 S's. And
Beautiful.
I'm
Quinn.
on Twitter at Quinn VanAntwerp, and you know, everywhere else at Quinn VanAntwerp. But yeah, follow along, and hopefully we'll be back in the studio here any moment.
Yeah.
Finding some answers to our questions.
Live action remake of Forever and a Day. I don't know about you guys. I feel like we need one live action episode. It's probably gonna be impossible to make, but
yes.
I want to get affected with Quinn. That's what I'm saying. I want us to be like going at it with each other.
Can you imagine?
It would be amazing.
I want you to beat me up badly on national television.
Bro, I don't know, man. Colin's like a fierce little. He's like a mongoose. Like he'll take on the snake, and he might.
Mongoose.
He's a
he'll constantly try to get himself, you know, some sort of happy, optimistic ending out of it.
Yeah. They have such chemistry. This is why we love them. Dorrell, where can everyone find you?
Well, social media. I mean, Twitter, Dorrell Anthony. Instagram, I am Dorrell Anthony. Facebook actor page. You can also find me on the Forever and a Day After Show here every Sunday. You can also find me on Mondays on Believe in Soap Operas with Lucretia Lyons. And also you can find me on Mondays on Pride the Podcast. I'm like doing all kind of podcasts and stuff. So it's
a big day for you.
Monday is a big day for me, and also literally the worst day. Like everyone, it's just another case of the Mondays, am I right? We all hate Mondays, but it's my busiest day of the week. So definitely find me all there. And Matthew, baby, where can they find you?
3826 48th Avenue.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. That is not my address.
Thank you.
That might be a real address. I don't know. That was totally fake. No, you can find me at mprestonnyc on Instagram, on Twitter, and you can go to my website at matthewpreston.me, and you can find all of us on Forever and a Day on JLJ Media. Go to FAAD Series. .com. You can also go to Spotify. You can go to iHeartRadio, and there's so many other channels which I'm forgetting. Just Google Forever and a Day, and you will find something to pop up. The listener viewership is going up because this show is so hot, and the season finale is right around the corner. So from all of us at JLJ Media and the Forever and a Day After Show, be well, be safe, and goodbye.